There's a lot of debate in the media and within education about exams and assessment. What's really the point of it? How can we make it more effective and less stressful for students? Is testing and the traditional exam system even relevant for the world today? Well, I'm not going to get into that debate in detail as such right now, but I do want to share one point of view that I hope will be useful. I'm Katie Price, grade transformation expert, and the way I see it, whether or not people are happy with it, exams are here to stay for the foreseeable future. And whilst there's development in how we teach the subject content and understanding how students, and in fact how anyone, learns best, the way we test and structure exams really hasn't changed that much. And there's no realistic discussion right now about scrapping Year 12 exams, especially for those following those academic routes in ATAR. So if we accept that, then we might as well view exams in a productive and positive light. So I want to offer a way to do just that. Well, first, we need to understand that getting great results in exams is as much, or is really about much more than just learning and regurgitating information. Yes, subject knowledge is important, but what's equally important is the ability to decipher what a question is really asking and at what cognitive level. And by cognitive level, I mean what level of detail and depth is required. So for example, a question that asks your team to define, say, food hygiene is quite different to a question that asks them to explain the importance of food hygiene. Or a question that asks for a description of a painting or artwork requires a much lower level response than one which asks your team to analyze that artwork. Now, one example where students fall into this trap is with novel or movie analyses. They often end up simply describing the storyline or the characters rather than analyzing the techniques that have gone into these and how they relate to perhaps a certain theme or purpose behind it. So, how does this all relate? How can we talk about it in a way that makes exams useful? Well, it could be argued that knowing the symbolism an author has used to portray a theme in a novel isn't going to be that relevant later in life. It's not going to serve students particularly well in writing a job application or carrying out their job, whatever that might be. It might be being able to serve clients or writing a funding grant or following a set of instructions. The actual subject content and knowledge to an understanding that might be required might not be that useful. It can be interesting and it can show an ability to think and operate at a certain level, but usefulness in a practical sense, maybe not really. I totally agree. But the skill of being able to work out what's wanted and needed is going to be super useful. Knowing how to figure out what people want and then how to give it to them in the most effective and efficient way is extremely useful and can serve your team in so many ways, whether they work for a boss and need to fulfill their demands, whether they're serving clients and customers, whether they run their own business or projects and need to create products and services, or if they're even applying for funding and grants for a charity or not-for-profit organization. Those skills of knowing what they're asking for and giving it to them are super important. So I hope this waves a bit of a sprinkle of positivity over exams. If we're accepting that they're part of most students' lives, then we might as well consider them in as positive a way as possible and focus on the ways that they can serve and help students today. And the exam technique skills that they learn and hone, like identifying command words, knowing exactly how to respond to them, properly understanding mark schemes and rubrics, well, these will not only serve them amazingly well for their exams, but will also be in place for whatever lies ahead beyond those exams as well. So for more free videos with tips and advice on tackling exams and assessment, head on over to the blog at www.gradetransformation.com.au/blog. And until next week, let's make this a fantastic week.